Feelings tend to cloud our judgment because I've learned to detach my emotions. That doesn't stop me from being in a loving, committed relationship that I manifested. I refuse to allow myself to believe all the lies that I told myself in the past. I refuse to let my past dictate my now. And guess what? Those are the feelings we need to detach from. Hey there, magical beings. Welcome to another episode of Magic Manifesting with Mia. This is your favorite spiritual manifestation coach, Mia. Spiritual meaning I use spirituality and witchcraft to help me manifest my dreams. And I can help you do that too. Using my unique approach towards spirituality and manifestation, I have manifested my ex-pack in 2 days, which you can find the free guide of it in the description below. Travel, money, celebrities, changes to my physical appearance, weight loss, and so much more. And I am talking about every single one of them in a video form like this one, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of those gems. But I'm also offering one-on-one coaching, personalized affirmations, personalized subliminals, personalized meditations, personalized vision boards, and even personalized spell work and tarot readings. But let us get to today's video. And I wish someone was there to tell me all of this when I first started manifesting, because I was in a really bad place. And nothing I was seeing online or reading seemed to match how my situation was. My mental health was at its lowest, and I just needed to find someone who had been through something similar and was successful with it. But I didn't have that. So I have made the vow to be that person for you. I want to show you that through my experiences, that no matter how bad things got, I still manifested my now dream relationship. And I want to be the person that you look at and say that, fuck, if she could do it, then I can do it too. Now, of course, everyone's experiences are different and everyone's react differently. But for me, my experiences were traumatic and deeply affected my self-esteem and the belief in myself. If you're not new here, you probably had bits and pieces before of my story, but for the ones of you that are new, I'll give you a quick rundown and you can be the judge of my experiences, okay? Started with very emotionally and physically abusive relationships, and then ended up with people that were really ashamed to be with me because I wasn't what they wanted. I was chubbier with red hair and short, and they wanted 6 foot tall Russian blondes with blue eyes. Yeah. Then I got into a very mentally abusive relationship, which is the ex that I manifested back. But very mentally abusive, very narcissistic. Ended very badly. To the point calling me psycho, blocking me on everything, getting into another relationship straight after me. Third party. And third party doing trying to do death curse on me, being miscarrying his child, very bad. Then I got into a situationship that I thought he had everything that I wanted, only to spend 2 days with him, and he was like, I can't do it. You know, that's a very quick rundown. I'm not gonna trauma dump on you because I know that can be triggering to people. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is that relationships are this highly emotional place to be in. And it seemed that my relationships, the emotions that it was full of, was negative. With thoughts of, I'm not good enough. What am I doing wrong? Why couldn't anyone commit to me? Why do I deserve all this bad treatment? And I would repeat those thoughts over and over to myself, which only ended up making it worse. It was a vicious cycle. I do my manifestation techniques, but I'd always get dragged back into how hurt and betrayed I felt, leading into more depression and feeling like manifestation doesn't work. Until I was doing that so much to the point where I said, you know what? Enough. Enough. I was done feeling worthless, done wondering who and what I was. outside of a relationship. And in the process of manifesting love, I realized that I had lost myself. I realized that I put someone else above my own needs, and that wasn't okay anymore. Now, I'll be honest. Therapy helped me a lot. Okay, I was at the time able to afford going to therapy, so therapy, being able to talk through that, helped me a lot. Okay, but it was more than that. Okay, it was the decision that I made that I would not put myself into another relationship until I figured out who I really was and what it was that I wanted in a partner. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't take a vow of eternal celibacy, you know? But I did take a vow to take care of my mental well-being, of my emotional well-being. And so I spent time alone, figure out who I am and what I want in a partner and what I needed from myself before I could ever expect someone else to fill that role. What I came to realize was that I wanted a partner who would make me feel safe and secure, even if we're not glued to each other 24/7. I wanted someone who didn't need to constantly be texting me, someone who shared my spiritual beliefs, someone who wanted a family. You know, you get the picture. But here's the kicker. After spending so much time alone, I ended up preferring my own company. Even though I wanted a relationship, I wasn't actively looking for one. Plus, I'm an introvert, so I'm like, a relationship should find me just by me laying in my bed. Okay? But why? Why wasn't I actively looking for one? Because I gave myself what it is that I needed. I became whole on my own. I realized that a relationship wasn't the foundation of who I am. It was just something that I could decorate my life with. And trust me, being someone who loves to decorate their space with intention and care, I took the same approach with choosing my partner. So, just how I take so much care with what it is that I put in my room and in my space, and I wouldn't take anything that I don't like, I took the same approach with a partner. So, when I met my SP, even though I liked him, I did. There were certain things that I just couldn't put on my plate at that moment. The things that I knew that if I got into it would affect my mental well-being as well. So I was like, I'm good now, but I can't afford to put that on my plate right now, even though I like you. So I didn't force anything. And we actually ghosted each other for months. And you know what? That was okay. That was okay. Because I think in that time, with me still doing my manifestation techniques, I still wanted a partner, I was still doing manifestation techniques. That time away ended up being good for when he came back. Because months later, when we met again, everything had changed. The things that I didn't want to put in my plate, they were gone. And standing in front of me was the man that I had been manifesting. When I was doing my manifestation techniques, I wasn't actively seeing him, as my partner, because I didn't know what my partner looked like physically. I didn't care what my partner looked like physically. I knew what I wanted to feel. I knew what I want my partner to make me feel and how I want my partner to be. So I wasn't attaching the feelings to a face. I was just focusing on the feelings and what I wanted to feel and to experience. But you're not here for a love story, right? You're here to learn to manifest your dream relationship. And all I can share with you is what worked for me. Okay, everyone has unique experiences, so what I can tell you is everything that worked for me through my personal experience to who I used to be as a person. Which means it might not be the same for you. I've said that with the manifestation techniques. Because everyone deals with stuff differently. Just because that worked for me, that doesn't mean it will work for you. But what's wrong with trying? Right? For me, during my time of being single, I realized that my worth was always being tied to the relationship that I was in. If I wasn't in a relationship or doing something good within the relationship, I would feel worthless. And that's when I decided to stop. I decided to find my worth outside of a relationship. I made the decision to detach my feelings of worthiness from being in a relationship. And when I tell you this was a game changer, now don't get me wrong, I love spending time with my spin. By the time that I'm recording this, it's Valentine's Day, so I'm getting ready for a day out. I love being with him. I love hanging out with him. But I don't base my worth and happiness solely on him. If we broke up tomorrow, would I be devastated? Of course. But would I feel like my life is over? I don't know. Because I've learned to detach my emotions from the relationship. And I don't mean that I don't feel things for him. Of course I do, that's why we're in a relationship. If you don't have feelings for your specific person, why are you in a relationship with them? That's not what I mean. But sometimes feelings tend to cloud our judgment. You know what I mean? We work ourselves up and project those negative emotions into our SP. If you're manifesting an ex or someone specific, I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you wondered if there is a third party? Or questioned if they lied to you? Or wanted an apology because of the hurt they've caused? Those thoughts lead to a feeling of unworthiness, disappointment, and failure. And guess what? Those are the feelings we need to detach from. I've said this before, but it's so important that I'll say that again. It was when I detached from all those feelings that I manifest my ex back in 2 days. Yes, the emotionally manipulative one. That's gonna be another video of its own. And no, not on the trauma, but what you need to look out for before manifesting someone. Keep an eye out. Now, if you're anything like me, you need to see yourself as a whole individual who can fulfill your own needs and desires. I'm not saying you have to be fully healed to manifest. I'm not into that bullshit. I'm still not fully healed. I still get triggered. I still have PTSD flashbacks. But that doesn't stop me from being in a loving, committed relationship that I manifested. Just because I'm triggered, that doesn't mean that I let those feelings control how I feel about myself or my relationship. I cry, I feel it, and then I let it go. Why? Because I refuse to put myself back in that old mindset. I refuse to go back to 2021. I refuse to allow myself to believe all the lies that I told myself in the past. I deserve to feel happy, loved, and appreciated in a relationship. So to wrap it up, what worked for me was learning to detach my feelings of unworthiness and emotional distress from my relationships. I refuse to let my past dictate my now. I choose to focus on how I want to feel in my relationships, not how I felt in the past. I refuse to feel unworthy. I refuse to feel trapped. And you should too. You deserve happiness, love, and peace in your relationships. And that starts with detaching from anything that tells you otherwise.